Hello, my name is Angel. I am 21, and I've recorded this already, but I missed a few points, and I thought I would elaborate more, just kind of refine it, if you will. But this video is gonna be about grief and just simply talking about my brother. Um, as much as I would like to talk to him about, as much as I would love to talk about my brother and what that's been like to one person, I don't want to burden I don't want to shove that burden onto anyone, or my family, because we're all feeling the same range of emotions, and I thought it'd be better to just throw this into the void of the internet, and whoever watches it, they watch it. If you don't, well, what can you do? But I want to preface this. I want to first, before I even talk about my brother, I want to talk about my experiences with death, and I'll keep it brief. I took a while with this on the last take. But the first person that I remember passing away was my neighbor, and my neighbor is I think it's the grandparents of my one of my childhood best friends, and this was around late 2020. I just remember I was like 15. I just remember seeing ambulances and fire trucks outside the house, and it was for the neighbors, and I kind of texted my friend like, "What's going on?" And she says something happened with my grandfather, and I don't really remember much of that, but he would sit on the porch a lot. I remember I would see him a lot growing up. He would just chill on his porch outside, just taking it all in. And then I kind of stopped seeing him after that, and I'm 15. I have no idea about any of this, right? So a little after I stopped seeing him, I kind of I pieced it together. Um, the second time was the week I graduated high school, the 19th, I think. I'm positive. I went to Wingstop and the park that day with my friends, and we're all seniors. We didn't really have any care in the world at this point. It's the last week of high school. And I come home around 6 or 7 p.m. and I see my parents crying, and I just didn't want to see that scene. It hurts seeing your parents cry, and it wasn't a little probably the next day or 2 days later when they told me that my dad's brother, my uncle, had passed away. I'm still unsure as to what it was. I never inquired because I was never really myself. I was never close to my uncle. Like in recent years that I remember, it was mostly in my childhood. But even then, that's kind of a fog. That's pretty vague. And it was pretty somber. It was bittersweet because the day I graduated high school, the day I walked the line, the day I got my diploma, I was in my cap and gown, and we went home like right after. Like I didn't stay for no after celebrations at my school, nothing. They told me to go home and change, and then we went to my uncle's viewing. So it was a very interesting day because I'm supposed to be happy. The biggest hurdle of my teenage life is finally done and over with. High school. And then I have to go to my uncle's viewing. And everything is somber and everything is just. It's a very different change of pace. It's a different tone. The celebrations of completing high school versus going to a viewing. And that was 2023. The next time was in 2023, in my first semester of college. It was around October and Halloween, actually. I was notified that one of my friends from middle school passed away as well. And I knew this person very well in middle school. We were good friends. And high school, we went to different high schools up until senior year where he transferred to my high school. And it just really wasn't the same. We were older. We knew different people. We did different things at this point, but there was still camaraderie. He would say what's up to me in the hallways. Um, but there was never a moment that we actually like really talked like that. I don't really even have a picture with him. Maybe someone does from middle school because we hung out quite often in one of our classes, second period avid, both years. Um, and so that was interesting because, like I said, we kind of just naturally fell out. And then the last time, this most recent time before my brother, was another friend from middle school who, unlike the friend before, I actually did really lose contact with him post middle school. All of high school, I didn't see him or talk to him. The last time I had seen him in person was 2019. And it was in September when I got called and I saw these posts, and now I see him pretty much every day buried in the same area that my brother's buried in. And that time was interesting because I actually have a picture with them, and like I do have a lot of recollection about him. And it hit me. It was shocking. It was heartbreaking. But like I said, I didn't. I had lost contact with this person for a good couple years, 5 years, 6 years. But it kind of made me question myself. Like, will I be ready to grieve whenever that time comes? Whoever, whatever, Because you hear a lot about grieving and the process, the 5 stages of grief, and this and that. But you're as much as you can try to prepare it, it's just something that it's just unavoidable, and it's very complex, And now getting to my brother, February 2026, it's about a month, almost two ago. A lot of emotions building up in me. I was excited because I was moving out of my parents' house, from Salinas to Yuma, Arizona. And I was excited because I was going to be a little more independent, not really have my parents here or with me. But I would still have a support system with my brother in his house and my other brother, Victor, because they lived pretty much in the same neighborhood. It's a 5 minute walk. It's a 1 minute drive. Like it's here to there, basically. And I was probably there for 3 days before my brother passed away. I was excited, I was nervous, I was happy, I was so many emotions, And I was ready, because the last time I was in Yuma was when my nephew was born, baby Jack. And so I was ready to just like see my be there for the long run, like kind of just build my life in Yuma in my brother Chuy's house, and get to see baby Jack grow and be with my other brother Victor and my sister-in-law Stephanie, and just kind of like this is going to be my new life. And then in the early hours of February 9th, my brother passed away, and that day changed everything. I mean, we crossed the border because my dad was still there. My dad and my brother Chuy was not living alone. He was with the oldest of us, my brother Manuel Manny, and oh shit, what the fuck did I do? Okay. We crossed the border to Mexicali to get like some goods for the house for the cheap. And that's when we got the call from my brother Victor, because the investigator went to his house because they needed an address, and we weren't home at my brother Chuy's house. So, and my brother Victor called my brother Manuel saying that my brother Chuy had passed away, and he told me that, and my walls started to close. I felt like my heart was gonna burst out of my chest, like my heart rate like spiked the fuck up. And then you're thinking all these things. I was thinking all these things at once, like what's, how, why, and then you realize like it can't be true. And then once you finally like realize the gravity of whatever happened, you think like about the last time you saw this person, then you'll never see him again if it's really true. And the brings a good point that I want to talk about, because I'm very active on Twitter, and I treat Twitter as like a personal diary of sorts. I've always been a big writer. I've always liked expressing myself using writing. I'm literally in the process of writing a memoir for my brother. Like that's how much I like writing, and especially now about him, And but my Twitter, I tweet some poetry sometimes, or like things, some sayings I think of, or just quotes from different source material and stuff. Like it's just a cesspool of what I like, the stuff I think of. And I want to bring up a few of my tweets that have lately struck something in me. And this is all from various times. I tweeted this December 21st, 2024, for whatever reason. And it reads, I dream of a bright future where the people I love are smiling until the day that they depart for heaven. And it's true. The last time I saw my brother, this brings me to the last time I saw my brother, was February 8th, the day of the Super Bowl. He was there for, I think, before it even started. He was at the house, and he was talking about that he was gonna go to a, sorry, my mind blinked. He was gonna go to a coworker Super Bowl party, and he left, and then we watched the Super Bowl. My brother Manuel and me and my dad. But my dad made carne asada. He like grilled up, and that day, my brother Victor pulled up. Usually, we were the ones pulling up to his house, but he was alone. I think Stephanie was at work, and so he brought baby Jack, and we were there watching the Super Bowl. We watched some of it. I think he left before because it was getting dark or something. And after the Super Bowl, I watched some movies on my laptop because my room didn't have a TV. I was ready to deck out that room. Excuse me. And then it was around midnight, and my dad had made some salsa, some fucking good ass salsa. So I got up to eat some because I was craving some. I still wasn't anywhere near sleepy. And that's beforehand. I had texted him on my dad's behalf, like, hey, like, let me know if you need a ride or anything. Like, we can go and pick you up. And he was like, I'm cool to drive. So he pulled back up around the same time I was eating the salsa, and he was telling me, bro, that coworker party was whack as shit. Like, there wasn't really that many people, and he was giving out seafood. Like, I really was not feeling that. And I told him, well, bro, my dad made some fucking carne asada. Like, get yourself a plate and, like, get down. And he see me, like, eat the salsa and shit. And he warms up his plate, and I'm still fucking up this fucking chips and salsa, bro. Like, I'm going crazy. And then he was like, bro, the fucking owner, like, they had a pit bull or like some big ass dog, and it kind of escaped from his cage, what he told me, and it bit a kid, and he was fucking laughing about it and dying. Pause. Wait. He was laughing, and you know what I mean? But he was laughing about it. He was just smiling, and because he thought it was so funny. And then I think, oh, so before he even told me that, I told him that we tried putting his Xbox on the TV because he had left it here in Salinas, but I wanted a gaming console out there because I didn't have anything apart from the Xbox, and I left my little brother the PlayStation that's right there. I think you can't even see it. You'll see it right now, somewhere around there. And we were having technical difficulties, and I ended up having to buy something off Amazon. He was like, perfect, like, I'm gonna buy a bracelet with a little heart on it from Amazon. It was like 150. I don't know who it was for. I don't know what. But he was like, I'll give you the money for that, and then I'll give you the money for whatever adapter you need for the TV and the Xbox. Like, because it was his Xbox at the end of the day, you know? And he sent me that money. It was like 180. It was like 160. And then he told me about the pit bull and stuff with the kid, and he was smiling and laughing. And then I went back into the room. I don't think I watched any other movies. I just went to sleep. And then February 9th occurred, and then I thought about the last time I saw my brother, which was that smile, that laugh. And yeah, it's next tweet. Oh, this is a quote from Tokyo Ghoul. It says, the world isn't wrong, it just is. And a lot of what I was having difficulties with in the process of grief, I'm not saying I'm over it by any means, fuck no, but something I ask myself a lot of the time is, why? Like, why my brother of all people? How could this happen to my wonderful brother? There is 10,000, 100,000 people that deserve it more than him. You know, people that actually do horrible things. You know, pedophiles, rapists, murderers. All these people that are just terrible, and you just kind of ask yourself why. Like, why are things this way? Why did this have to happen? And you think that things are wrong. This world is wrong. This world is fucked. But it's not. You know, like, I don't know who said it, but this portion of life where you lose people, and you kind of just not grow old, but, you know, you just lose people in the process of things. It's not wrong. You know, the world's always been that way. So it's another tweet that popped up in my head that the world isn't wrong. You know, it just is. The world just is as it is. It exists. And what I mentioned about, you know, people that deserve it more than my brother, because my brother is a very hardworking person. He always was, and I'll get to talking more about that. But I mentioned, all these people that are terrible, and this is, if I remember right, this is a comment under a black metal song that I really like. It's just a really just, and the person, because that black metal solo band, the person ended up committing suicide in like 15 years ago. But I like the music. It's the point. And I saw this comment, and it really spoke to me. April 21st, 2023. I was still a fucking senior in high school. And it reads, "The wrong people leaving the world, so only the false remain." Like I said, my brother, there, I think, as morally wrong as it sounds, there are people out there that deserve whatever happened to my brother more than what happened to my brother. I think I made that make sense. But you get the point. And then the last tweet I have to show, it says, "I love so much it hurts." And this was literally a month before. And it's true, the one thing about grief is that it stems from love. You're hurt because you lost someone that you just profoundly love. And I may not show it sometimes or like talk about it on the internet, but I love my family so much. They are the reason why I am the way I am today, why I keep going. And I don't know why I tweeted this. It's 11:30 in the fucking morning. I just tweeted, ambulance, don't mind it. And I tweeted out, "I love so much it hurts." And it's true. Like, I'm hurt because I love my brother a lot. And I feel like that's not really mentioned in grief. Or you kind of realize it as you go along, you know? But that's all I have in terms of quotes. And then I like to do things that remind me of my brother. In any aspect, listening to music he liked, wearing clothes he liked, wearing stuff he liked. It's bittersweet because I have all these daily reminders of my brother, and it feels just amazing that he lives on through me. And then you start to remember that my brother's not here with us anymore. Case in point, this water bottle I've been using lately. This is his water bottle. And he has all these stickers. He was a Jeep owner. He has a Virgin Mary sticker on here because he was a big believer in faith. He carried one in his wallet. He has like 3 logos of his team, our team that we loved, America. A Lugia because when he was a kid, he owned a Pokemon Silver that my brothers all shared, and just Red Sox. I don't fucking know about the Red Sox. And the money sign and a Billionaire Boys Club sticker, and just all these things that basically make other things he liked, other things that made him up. And I have all these daily reminders of my brother, such as the bottle, or I look at my nails. If you look at the America logo, it's primarily yellow and blue, and we have yellow and blue flowers at his grave, and I have my nails yellow and blue as chopped as they are. His little pin that was made in commemoration is yellow and blue. This shirt, I have another one, a Cricks and Castles, yellow and blue. This is a Smoke Dope one. Shout out Smoke Dope. Yellow and blue, like I have all these daily reminders of my brother. I have a little, leading the wrong way, a little altar right here with like a Virgin Mary and like one of his old licenses that I want to make it bigger. And daily reminders, and it's beautiful. I mentioned music. One thing I've been listening to a lot is Mac Miller. My brother kind of put everyone on in this family to Mac Miller way back in the fucking day, since high school, since I think when Kids came out, 2010. And I think of I listened to this album, this mixtape a lot recently, and I just think of my brother. Nikes on My Feet. Good Evening's one I think about. He would play in the car a lot. Kool-Aid and Frozen Peaks. So like all these songs that Mac Miller talks about the joys of youth and smoking and fucking shoes and going to parties and fucking like girls, being around girls, and it just reminds me a lot of my brother. All this like feel good music. Like my brother was a kid at heart. Really, he was. We would play Mario Party or the 64, and he was always our 4th man if he was down to play, because sometimes he just wasn't, and he would choose fucking Wario and Mario Party. Fucking okay. Whatever. But listening to this really just uh, reminds me a lot of my brother, and it makes me feel good. You know that it's almost like he's speaking to me, I guess you can say. And then I have some pictures I want to show, just talking about my brother. It says De Niro because that's the name of the album. I watched Casino last night. It was really good. And before that, I watched The Irishman. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but um, I have pictures that I want to talk about. Like, I'm covering my dad. Sorry, Dad. Um, I've had eras, stints where maybe one brother is more influential to me than another, and the era that Chuy was most influential to me was my freshman year of high school. And that's because at that point we were roommates. In this very room, we were roommates. This room has been through so many fucking people. My combinations of my brothers, combinations of fucking whatever, you know. But I don't know what the composition was of the house that we were able to be roommates my freshman year, but um he told me, he was like, hey, at that point I was around his size, I wasn't 6'3", a fucking walking behemoth. We're relatively the same when I was a freshman in high school, 14, 15. And he told me, hey, anything in my closet that you want to wear, just wear it, bro. Like, don't hesitate to, like, swag yourself out, this and that. And so I took advantage of that. I'm not saying I took advantage, but I did it pretty often. And that freshman year was when COVID hit in March 2020. So 2019, 2020 would have been my freshman year, but it was cut short because of COVID. And after COVID, I kind of stopped wearing his clothes because I grew bigger. I was already 16, 17, and I just didn't fit in that anymore because I was a fucking growing boy. But you can see the influence very clear. You see my brother, his earrings. If I could zoom it in, he's wearing earrings on this, and he has his Astro Boy shirt. It's a diamond shirt, and lo and behold, next fucking pick. Here I am, freshman year. It says 2021, but this is when I exported it into my camera roll from Snapchat. I was a Snapchat demon. Same shirt, same earrings. Like, I was a byproduct of my brother's influence. Like, he swagged me the fuck out without me. I was fucking blind to this. Now I look back and I was like, this is fucking tough. No bias, but you see, I'm literally same pose, same shirt, not same earrings. These actually might be same earrings because I got my ears pierced because my brother got his ears pierced. And I got them done twice. That's how much I wanted to be like him. Because the first time I think I didn't clean them properly and they got fucking all infected. And the second time I took them off. I just took them off and I never put them back on. Because I think it was COVID already. And I was like, I'm cool off this. And I've never gotten them re-pierced since. Also because they were saying that my earlobes are too fucking fat. And I was like, okay, bro. I guess I can't have earrings then. But look, you see the fucking striking similarities. Same pose, same shirt, same earrings. Like, what more can I say? Again, look, I remember this haircut too. This was 2019, and then winter break happened, and I came back with a fucking buzz cut. And you see, like, I have black earrings now, and he took me to get this cut actually right there. I'm not gonna say where, but I remember where. And this is an LRG hoodie, a brand he liked wearing. And I have a fresh ass fade, this fucking cooked ass buzz cut, and earrings. This was his hoodie. I don't think these are his earrings, or maybe they fucking were. I don't even remember that time anymore. Again, this is the day I got my ears pierced in October 2019. You got these little whack ass studs that you have to start out with, and a fucking diamond hoodie that I probably took from his closet. Like, he was very influential to me at this point in my life. And it's starting to come back because of his passing. I'm buying more LRG shirts. I'm buying more clothes that, I think he would think is sick, So this time he was very influential to me. And like I said, we were roommates. I'm on the bed. I'm at bed level taking this fuck ass pic of him doing whatever, watching whatever the fuck he was watching. And during this point, his job, my mom told him, put this fool to bed because he got school in the morning, But he said, fuck that. Like, we watched so many things. I don't even remember. I think this is so like 2019 still, 2020, I think. I don't fucking know. But we watched that one show where the airplane disappears and they come back like 5 years later. And we watched the first season. The first season is actually pretty decent from what I remember, but the second season they just start doing the same trope, like it was the same shit, and we were like, this is fucking whack. So we stopped watching it. We watched the live action adaptation of Initial D, and from that point on, I would whenever he would drive, he would say, "I'm Initial D. I'm about to Initial D this shit," and I was like, "No, no, you're not. No, you're not." Um, and this is our former dog Lucy, who's since passed as well. She had a heart condition, I think. But yeah, and then he started wearing these hoops, and I have a pic of myself from my freshman year yearbook that I couldn't fucking find for this video. And I'm wearing a diamond hoodie and some hoops as well, because I would wear hoops at one point too, like him. I would probably take his too. And I don't know what else he watched. I think this is when he started watching Peaky Blinders and fucking All American. That was oh my god, he actually watched that shit. I can't believe it. And there's this one airplane movie from the mid 2000s. It's like with Snoop Dogg, I think. And I just remember I went to sleep. I didn't watch this one. This is the only movie I don't remember watching with him. But they were smoking up in this big ass fucking airplane. Like they were having a fucking pool party in this airplane run. I think from what I fucking remember. I don't even know the title of it or anything. And I'm gonna mute it because I don't want it to play the audio. But this is a video that was sent from my brother Victor, and my brother smoking, drinking up, like doing his thing, and you see this shirt. It's a Fashion Nova men t-shirt, and it says finesse. And I used to wear this a lot too in my freshman year, and I got in trouble one time because it's a blank white tee. Like my school doesn't really allow blank white tees because of like gang activity, that it means you're in a gang or some shit. But I will still wear it because I was like, this is fucking tough. Like it's an outline that says finesse. And that's why I included it, because I would wear this shirt a lot too. And again, roommates at some fucking point. I don't know what the fuck I said, but he's laughing. He's something of sorts. And let me go down. You see all these pics, but I'll talk about post. And that's another thing too. Like subconsciously, I've made this. I've done this thing where you look at a pic or you're reminded of something, and you kind of subconsciously think like this was a point where my brother was alive. This is a point where this person was alive. This is after he was gone. And so I think I'll start with the golf ones first. But this is literally my wallpaper too. Like I love this pic so much. I took this pic of him because we went to Topgolf. He invited us, and like he paid for everything. I think he went here on a date or something, and yeah, we were all garbage. I ain't gonna lie, we were all fucking ass. But I remember I won because we were playing it to where you have to make it into like these holes to get points, and the further you do it, the more points you get. And we all sucked ass. I'm telling you right now, we all fucking blew. You're gonna see right now. But I remember at the end, they had all given up, and I was like, fuck that, I'm gonna rack up my points. So the last 10 minutes, I just spammed like golf balls down the range and everything. And I won. They didn't take it, but I won. I drove this day, and I remember after we got Chick-fil-A, and that was a beautiful day. But he's pointing at the sky, so I thought, I just realized this when I added this to the fucking the De Niro fucking album that I was gonna talk about. He's pointing to the sky like if he hit it, but the ball's fucking right here. And then I realized why. And this is right before that pick, and let me click on the live. He fucking hit the ground. He fucking hit the ground. And then he puts his hand up like this, and then I was like, okay, hold on, I think I have the follow-up, and that's this pick. His hand is right there, and he's pointing to the sky. And I love this pick so much because towards the end, you see his smile. You see how big his smile was. Like, he was a natural smiler. And so look at this fucking jolly kid. You see it for a split second, but you saw his smile. You saw. He was just happy to have us there, to treat us. And yeah, I love this day a lot. Car accident. Yes, this is, I think, the same year. 11 days later after we played this. So I was still in my blue Honda. But long story short, I picked up a friend. She was stranded, and we got Wingstop, and she didn't want to eat it at Wingstop because she was like crying, some relationship stuff, whatever. And I ended up getting T-boned because I was on my phone on an oncoming traffic turn. And that's also like, actually, I won't even mention it. I'll talk about it right now. But I call my mom, like, hey, I just got into a fucking accident. What do I do? And she's like, okay, are you okay? And I'm like, yes, I'm fine. I'm okay. My friend's okay. And the first soldier she fucking deployed was my brother, even though he was at work. He was at work and he told his boss. I remember he told me that he told his boss, like, my brother just got into an accident. I need to go. So he was the first one to pull up. By this point, I crashed in the middle of the intersection, but some people my age that I don't even know, shout out to them. They helped me push my car to the curb. Sorry. And he pulled up and he was like, "You good? You good?" And I felt so embarrassed. I felt ashamed, like, how could I let this happen? Especially it was my fault too. Like, I caused this, I was on my phone. And he was like, "Bro, don't fucking trip. Like, no te agüites. Like, it's all good. Like, fuck the car, bro. Like, as long as you're okay and, like, I guess your friend. No, as long as you're okay and your friend are okay, like, that's all that fucking matters. Like, this car's replaceable, but you're not." Like, he told me that. And he looked me in the eye. And, like, this is, like, fucking 9 p.m., bro. I should have been... I remember I worked this day at the old bookstore I was working at. Fuck that bookstore. But, yeah, and he had this, like, 24-hour, like, tow truck, like, hotline in the little, like, business card, and he called it, and the lady on there was giving him trouble, and it wasn't working. And he ended up calling my dad, and my other brother, Manuel, pulled up, and my dad's friend towed it, and, I was telling him, like, bro, I should have stayed home. Like, I was literally playing. Like, my friend called me and shit. He was like, bro, don't even fucking trip. Like, how could you know this would happen? Like, you're not at fault. Even though I really was. And I remember he was like, "You got anything in this car before they tow it?" And I was like, "I don't got shit." And he was helping me look for anything of value. And what did he do? He starts eating me and my friend's Wingstop, bro. And he was like, "What?" Like, I just remember him like, "What? You called me when it was going to be my lunch." We're just there seeing my car get fucking picked up on the tow truck, and we're eating our Wingstop, and we're just he's just making me feel better. And that's how my brother was. Like, he dropped anything to help you, to be with you. Even if he was at work, he didn't give a fuck, bro. Like, he put his family first, always. He was a family man. And so this picture is a testament to one of my biggest fails in life, crashing this beautiful Honda. But also, it serves a memory of my brother, like, he was the first one on the fucking scene, And I just remember him eating my fucking Wingstop. Just laughing about it, just having a jolly time, trying to, in light of a dark situation, like, just. And then this is me. This is June 1st. I didn't wait. I thought I was going to go in chronological order. I thought this happened before this. But this was when my brother was looking for a house in Yuma. Because my brother is a homeowner. I don't know why I went. I think I was invited. They told me just go, just back us up. And I was like, fuck it, I'll go. Right? And we spent this whole weekend. I was there for 2 days. And all we did was look at houses. And I don't think this was in my brother's house, or what became of my brother's house, because I don't recognize this flooring pattern. And we just spent the whole day looking at available houses, and there was one house where the guy that had the keys, like the contractor, the real estate dude, he fucking liked to pull up. So we're in this Arizona summer heat, no fucking conditioning in the car. My dad didn't want to run the car because I think the AC was broken in that car. I don't know what the fuck. Or he didn't want the I think if you leave it running too long, the gas, like, it takes up gas and all this and that. And I was like, what the fuck? But we were out there for like 45 minutes in front of this, like, lonely ass house until the guy pulled up, and we were just fucking making a fuss out of it. We didn't end up getting the house. And then once we decided on the house that my brother liked, it was very modern. It was very beautiful. It had marble things. Eventually this wall was like a brick pattern that my dad put in it like a year later, or recently, a year later basically. And this is the house that my brother decided on, and he was very proud of it. Like, he loved this house. And I think he came back like 2 weeks later to finalize the contract. And let me pull up that pic real quick, because actually, before I pull up that pic, I want to talk about after my brother passed away. Now, we've been doing, this was the day of his funeral. This cake was made, like I told you, like this yellow and blue and his favorite team. And you see my brother smile, like, this is the smile of a fucking angel. Like, look at him. It's just, he's very jolly, he's very happy. And it says in honor a Jesus Chuy Velasquez. And there's a beautiful cake. We still have his fucking face portion of the cake. And there's a pic of me biting it, but I didn't really bite it. It was just, I thought it was funny that his face is on the cake. And then shortly after, We they took fingerprints of my brother's fingerprints, and you can get that and many different things. You know, you can get that shit on a fucking knife. You can get it on a, I forgot what else, but the pendant is the most popular because, well, you keep it with you. You wear it on your person, and this was his fingerprint. I'm not sure for what finger this is, but case in point, it's his fingertip. It's his fingerprint. You know, and this is the one that my brother Manuel has. You know, he still needs to find a good chain because you can order a chain with it, but they're not really the best. You know, I don't know, but and then this is the one my mom has. This one came in after. This is the second one in the collection. This one is in the shape of a heart and it has a green jewel, and green is a very prominent color for my brother because he had green eyes. No one in this family has green eyes. I don't know where. I don't have the knowledge to know this family tree, like where he got those green eyes from, like genetic wise. But none of us have it. He's the only one in my immediate family to have green eyes. And like I have like, oh, I mean, you can see it right here. They're like shit brown, but you let the light hit them and they're like hazel, like a honey color. But this is my mom's, and she got a green jewel with it for his eyes because she would always text him a green heart for his eyes. And yes, whenever we visit my brother, because it's an everyday thing. Like I haven't gone today because I want to go with my mom, you know, just so that she doesn't go alone. And we keep my brother company. Sometimes I go with myself. And this time I took him a Monster because we always take him stuff to drink. He, you know, we've taken him Starbucks. This Monster I got him, the Gatorade electrolytes drinks, and then I think a vitamin water. I think I mentioned that. But I took him a Monster this time, the Monster White, the Monster Zero specifically, because he loves those. Even when I moved out in that era where my brother passed away, he still had like two of them in his fridge. So he was about it really. And we always leave these hearts of flowers here, yellow and white. Sometimes they'll be pink because it'll be for my sister. She'll put those there, and just because my sister would get my brother pink stuff like his pink blender, like, you know, just to tease him, to do stuff like that. But I was gonna put up the pic of my brother owning the house, and that'll be sometime in my favorites. Yes, like July 17th. So a month later, he he took a trip and he finalized his house. And you know, I love this picture of my brother so much. And I've actually been going on my goatee because I really like the way his looks. And because I've never done it, you know, I've never been one for facial hair, but my mom asked me just to see how it would look, and it's been all right. But besides, I'm getting off track. But you know, my brother, um, he was very self-sustained. He was independent, but that doesn't mean he ever abandoned us. No, that it gave him more reason for him to look out for us. You know, one of the last times he sent me money, he sent me $100. You know, just to get by because I had quit my jobs and I was ready to move out, and you know. But I was telling my mom, you know, like I think my brother lived a very fulfilling life. Sure, there are things that he didn't get to do, but the years that he was here, he accomplished a lot. You know, he at his job, he was very well paid. Um, he was able to buy a house. You know, how many people can say they bought a fucking house with their own work? Not a lot, I don't think. And he would pay it off, the mortgage or the rent. You know, like that was all him. He accomplished a lot, and because of his hardworking ethic, you know, he wasn't a workaholic by any means. But because he had access to money and he worked hard for his money, he was able to enjoy the pleasures of life. And you know, because he would drink and he would go out and like go have his fun. And because of that, he would go to soccer games for America or Mexico. He was able to enjoy the things he loved. And yeah, it was very equal. You know, he worked a lot, but he also had a lot of fun. I would think, if not with us, with other people. And yeah, I told her like I think my brother lived a very fulfilling life, and for what it's worth. Um, and I wanted to talk about religion because I have a very different relationship with religion. Yeah, I'm with myself back. Um, I'm not saying I denounced the religion my family believes in. I think we're Catholic, But there was a good couple years where I didn't believe in religion. I don't know, like I just didn't. I didn't find a rhyme or a reason to. I just didn't believe in it. Um, but lately, after my brother passed, it's been a little different. You know, I've started to accept it a little more. Like we've been going to church, and my mom will dedicate services to him. Like she'll go to the office, and I don't know how much it costs, but like at the start and the end of every service, they will say his name along with a couple other people. You know, and it's a little relieving because you know they say in Spanish, obviously, because we're my first language is Spanish. They say this church service is in honor of the eternal rest of this person. Then they'll say my brother's name, Jesus Velasquez, and whether these people know, these people that are with us in church know or even seem to care, you know, they're still praying, and because the service is dedicated to the eternal rest of my brother, it gives me a little peace, and I hope that gives my mom peace, you know, my family, whoever's there with us, and yeah, and then my mom put it in a very beautiful way recently. She's like, you know, your brother is in the green pastures of heaven, because my brother was not a bad person by any means. My brother did not ever do anything that uh, coincided with evil. You know, like he was a very loving and good person. So my mom was saying that he's in the pastures of heaven. He's meeting all these people that have also since passed, like my uncle that I mentioned. You know, some of his friends, this and that. Our pets that have since passed, and he's doing the stuff he loves. You know, he's doing fucking keepy ups with the soccer ball, or he's you know, just doing the stuff he loves. He's playing fucking FIFA and on his Xbox or something. You know, like he's enjoying, you know, just being in heaven, and that's bought me peace too, because you know you think of because even before this I was at a friend I was with a friend at Chili's, and we were talking. She told me she has death anxiety, and I did too, because I don't know, it's just scary, like just the idea of dying. You know, like I used to think that it's like you just go to sleep, you know, because when I go to sleep, like I don't dream, like I just straight up just don't feel anything, like I just don't feel like I'm in fucking REM sleep. I just go to sleep. So that's what I thought, and then you kind of, oh, in the process of grief, you kind of like look for some answer, you know. So there I am on fucking Ask Reddit, the subreddit, and it's like people who have been, people who have what's it, what the fuck do you say? Medically diagnosed, not diagnosed, or like who have medically died and been brought back. What does it feel like to die? And these people talk about um like feeling warm and feeling very loved and feeling okay, and you know, just this just warmth, you know. And I think like, did my brother really go through that? Like my brother Victor worded it really well in a poem he wrote recently in some writing, where it was like, you know, did my brother have any last thoughts, you know, because I don't know, you know, and I think it's better if like you didn't know, you know, like what death feels like, you know, because we will all get there eventually, you know. We're not immortal, we're not gods, but it's just like, I don't know, it's very weird. um I don't know what else to talk about. I have these but like I said, I have daily reminders of my brother every day. I have these framed pictures on my desk. This one is beautiful. I don't know what year this is from, because the birthday cake right there says 81, but no one was turning 81. It might be 18, and my sister's turning 18, but I don't fucking know. But you see my brother, it's the two women of the family, my sister and my mother, and then my beautiful brother with his hair. And I think he's wearing earrings. So this is definitely like around pre-COVID, I want to say. I don't know. And then I have another one where I'm blonde in this. I think this is 2022, and he's has a buzz cut at this point. He's wearing a Billionaire Boys Club shirt, and I'm smiling as fuck. I'm jolly as fuck, and he's right there. I think this was his birthday, and I don't know. Like my mom said that there's gonna be difficult days along the road without my brother, such as his birthday or like Thanksgiving, where we're very thankful for stuff, or you know, Christmas, or just family events, I think. And the the person who's buried next to my brother, or like the closest person, is a young adult around my age. I think he was a year or two older than me, so 22, 23. And we've become very acquainted with that family because, well, the mom lost his son. My mom lost her son, my brother. And so we talk it out. And one of these days that I went, I was by myself. Because usually I'm the first to go because I'm up and at 'em early in the morning, just getting my stuff done, going to the gym, whatever. And that mom pulled up and she was very nice. She just played music and I was like, I don't mind, it's fine. And we both left around the same time, but she was telling me like it certainly hurts, but I try to be positive. Like I've shed the tears I've needed to shed regarding my brother. There's not time. I'm not over this by any means. Fuck no. I probably won't get over this for a long time. But so I'm able to like go out and be a member of society without having these issues. Like certainly it'll hit me at times where I think about my brother just randomly, or but I'm able to keep my composure for the most part. And the only time that I cry now is when I see another one of my family members cry, and that's another tweet I should have brought up because I didn't. I forgot. Um, there you go. This tweet. It says, when you hurt and cannot stand alone any longer, it hurts me tenfold. And it's June 23, 2024. And it's true, when my mom cries, I cry because, my mom is, you never want to see your mom cry. Or like if anyone else is crying, and it just makes me cry because it hurts me a lot more to see my family in pain. Even though I'm in pain, I don't know. It's weird. It's this weird thing. Um, what can I say? But yeah. So, but I was talking about the mom of the person buried next to my brother, and she was saying like you need to keep a positive mindset, for the people around you and for yourself, because if you're just constantly eating away at your at yourself, in your inside dealings, your thoughts, it'll come back and bite you 10 times harder. Like you're overthinking and all this stuff. And but I talked about so many things about my brother in this video. When he took us to golfing, when he fucking pulled up when I crashed, all these beautiful memories. And that's what she told me, like, just think about all the beautiful memories that this person left you. And my brother certainly did leave me with enough memories for a lifetime. And I will never forget them. Hopefully I don't, And I think I tweeted something else out too recently. I was looking for my tweets. But yeah, everything I do in my life going forward is in honor of my brother. Every goal I meet, every dream I see through, it is all for him, because I know in my bones, in my being, he would want myself and the rest of my family to succeed, to be headstrong and steady day in and day out. And yeah, he always wanted the best for us. He was selfless. He just the most beautiful kind of person you can have around you. And then I might have taken it a step further, because my next tweet was, the day I become a father, whenever that will be, it better be a boy. I'll be happy with anything. As to give him the name of my brother, his uncle, whom I will always adore. And to show him pictures and tell him stories to follow in the footsteps of those who came before him. How beautiful and how righteous. And that's true. And my mom even said this, like, without even me telling her that I posted this. She was telling my brother Manuel that he should fucking lock it and have a kid already so he can name his kid Jesus or Chuy. It's just we just all think alike. And I don't know. It's something to think about a lot, I guess. And I didn't even talk about this chain too, but this chain, this cookies chain, I don't even smoke. I've never been one to any of those vices. But this is my brother's. His jewelry was all separated between us, and I kept this one because, like I said, my freshman year, we shared a wardrobe basically, and he told me to wear this, and I would often wear this, and it's very beautiful. But I stopped wearing it after COVID, and I honestly forgot he had it. It even existed up until recently, and I put it on my chain, and I only wear it on like special occasions. And Yeah, I don't even have a picture of him wearing it because I don't even think he wore it that often either. So it's in pristine condition. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Really, just share with the world, with this void, about my brother, and because nothing else is coming to mind that I can talk about for right now. Um, I guess I can talk about this book, Ready Player One. I'm a big nerd. I love the movie adaptation of this, but this was in my brother's house in Yuma, and he told my other brother Victor that he was reading this, and so I decided to give it. You could see his bookmark still in there. I won't ever take this out because this is to the point of the book he got. He read 144 pages, and this is his bookmark. A little envelope, little thing, and it's stuff like that. Daily reminders of my brother. I see it, and I this was living in his room with him, and yeah, just stuff like that. And I have his wallet, his Gucci wallet, and just things of that sort. Like I think about my brother a lot. I think I don't know. It's a final point, I think, because I'm running out of things to talk about. But there was this video that my brother sent shortly after this happened. My brother Victor sent, or Manuel, one of those two, and I don't even know who it is or what it was, but it's this person talking about how they lost their brother 30 years ago, 20 years ago, and the person talks about growing up with his brother and just kind of his brother and losing his brother very early on, and the person says, I'm 50% happy, 50% sad at any given moment, because, well, you, like I said, I think about my brother a lot, and sometimes when I'm out and about, I think of, like, did my brother get to experience this? Will my brother get to experience any of this? And or sorry, that didn't sound right. Did my brother get to experience this? And I think, like, if I'm doing something unique, like, I don't know, but I'm very glad that, as much as sometimes I shit on and I deform modern technology, I'm very glad it's given us, videos and pictures and high definition pictures, because I'm glad that I still have lots of fond memories of my brother, in if virtual form, if not physical. And I guess that's all. I don't know if I'll make anything ever like this again. And the audio might be shit because I didn't invest in the mic, because I knew this was a one-time thing, but I don't give a fuck. Um, yeah, there's nothing else I want to talk about. So thank you for listening. If you did, kind of abrupt ending, but I mean, what the fuck can I say? I already talked about. I think I talked like an hour. I think this video is like an hour long, but fuck, man, I don't care. Bye.